Ellen from Ellen's Crafty Decor, hopping on Facebook tonight to do another live, trying to get a little motivation, get a mojo going. Oh, hopefully, ooh, it says I'm live. Hopefully, I'm live. If you are jumping on to check this out, say hey, tell me where you're from, give me a shout out so I know it's working. I am still working, like I say this every time, working on my technology. So give me a shout out, let me know if you're watching. You never know what you're gonna get. Never know what you're gonna see. And I am not seeing, oh, choose video it says. All right, I'm trying. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. There's that. All right. So I've got my live, so I'm trying to be able to watch for comments. So, I'm on late tonight, but that's just because I was so excited. I was able to get a haircut today in color. Look, no more gray. It's awesome. It's been a long time. I know everyone else is waiting. My poor husband, he made his appointment first and can't get in till like next week. So I feel bad for him. However, I just lucked out and my stylist, shout out to Tracy, my stylist was able to get me in this week. So I was super excited about that. Okay, so let's make sure I'm on my right page this time. Unlike last time where I went live on my personal page, which I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I do feel really bad, John, really bad. Can't you tell? That's all right. You know, you're handsome regardless. All right. So, yeah, I'm on my right page this time. So, hopefully, people are able to find me on my business page, Ellen's Crafty Decor. All right, so tonight, don't roll your eyes at me, John Koppelman. All right. Anyway, so hope everyone's having a great day. It was finally nice. I'm over here at my craft cottage. Thanks, John. Working, and the windows are open today. It's beautiful out. I can't ask for more. I cannot ask for more. So, sorry about that. Should have turned off my notifications. All right, so tonight we are doing a project that is very different, but it is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I first have to give a shout out to a good friend of mine who, her name is Kim, and Kim, like a year ago, they started remodeling their house, and she had a bunch of extra, what am I trying to think of? Cabinet doors and cabinet drawers. They completely were tore out, and I actually ended up redoing their whole house, but just so happened, she had them to get rid of, and this was before Couture came out, or before I knew they were coming out with their surface that is like very similar to this, a cabinet style piece. So what I did, I'll show it to you. I don't know how long it is. I should have measured it first. Let me measure it real quick for you. And I got stuff all over the place. We can kind of see the whole entire cabinet itself, the door, is about 12 by 15 and a half. But the surface that we'll be chalking on is about 8 3/4 by, looks like 12 and a quarter or so. Okay, so what I did, this is the door. I do solid wood, okay? There were some marks here, obviously you can see, where the handle for the door was. All I did was ahead of time, because it needed to dry, is I filled that with a little wood filler. Let it dry, sanded it, smoothed it out, did it a second time, sanded it, and it's ready to go. So I did give the whole door a light sanding. Didn't spend a lot of time on it, but just roughed it up a little bit. Okay. And what we're gonna do, so this is not a chalk couture surface, but you can still chalk on other surfaces as long as you prepare them correctly. So what we're gonna do, Kim, this is your door. All right, I'm so excited because this is like the first one. Like I did a practice one. And it didn't turn out that good, but I'm gonna show it to you guys anyway. All right, so today I did this one. And it looks actually probably on the screen, it looks a lot better than it looks in person because I didn't do a very good job filling in the holes. So I needed some practice. So anyway, so I have this door front, again, that I did fill the holes already. So I'm ready to paint it. So what I'm gonna do is I also have to give a shout out to my good friend, Melissa Scott, who owns Cornerstone Antiques in Monticello, Indiana, because she is my sounding board for all my crafts and my crazy ideas. But I also buy a lot of the products from her store, so just kind of an FYI, she has a great, amazing products. Not that you have to use these necessarily. There's nothing special about it. She's local. I like to buy local. If I had paint sitting around, I could just use that paint. You can use latex paint. I'm using, it's called Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint that I purchased from Melissa. Because I finally found the color I love. Well, I love all the colors, but nonetheless, you do not have to buy any special paint for this. You could use any paint you have at home. I just happen to love this paint, and I also use it when I paint furniture, which is also a little side hobby of mine. So I use that paint for that as well, and I was able to just pick that up today, so I'm super, super, super excited. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down so you can kind of see my work surface, and I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do. So hopefully, oh my God, I just changed the thing around. Now, how do I fix that? There, geez. Ellen, don't you think I need like some, what's the word? New equipment to do like a reel for real show, like those people do on YouTube and stuff. They're not just using one camera. But anyway, if you see my husband out and about in town, you just be like, oh, those videos would be so much better if she had a little bit more technology to help her out. Like better lights, a better stand. What else could I use? Probably a program called Switcher Studio, which a lot of people use. Anyway, so I'm gonna quit my complaining and my begging for you to help me get new things. I'm gonna show you this color. So this color is, it may not show up very well on there, but it is a grayish blue. Oh my God, I love it. If you know me, blue is my most favorite color. I love blue, blue, just about any kind of blue. Except for like a baby blue, which I loved when I had little boys. But anyway, so all I'm gonna do is I'm going to, I know she said, that's coming after Stephanie, after John gets his garage. Yeah, his 3, 4 car, 12 car garage. I'm not sure what he's building, but he is building one. So hopefully after the garage, I will be able to get a she shed. So right now I'm at my craft cottage, but that's not a permanent location because eventually our little cottage is gonna get torn down someday in 5 years, right, John? in 5 years. That's a little inside joke. So anyways, this has all been sanded and all I did was wipe it off, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. So this live might be a little bit longer, so kind of bear with me. So all I'm gonna do, I'm just using a foam brush, and I'm gonna paint the cabinet door here, which again is solid wood. It's just something, like I said, that I was able to get donated by a good friend who was remodeling her kitchen. And it gave me more things to play with. Now I've had them for almost a year. Thumbs up, John. So you are still watching. Great, great. You're supposed to be watching TV by now, or watching Chip Foose design some cars or something. It's probably what you're watching back at home. So all I'm gonna do is paint this. I'm not gonna be super particular, mostly because I'm live. But I wanted you to see it from start to finish, that you can take surfaces that you just have laying around, or that you may, you know, are lucky enough to kind of scavenge like me. And you can repurpose those into neat little crafts as well, so you're not necessarily spending a ton of money, especially if you're using like leftover paint that you have, perhaps from painting a room, or you just might buy it like a discount. You know how a lot of times they have those like on clearance paints that people ordered or that were mixed and then they didn't buy. I don't know. It seems that people buy stuff like that. I don't ever come across those kinds of deals. But maybe you're the type that would. So, oh, goodness sakes. All right, so, well, things are popping up. What is happening? Okay. Yeah, I know. People are commenting on things that are not. Hang on. Sorry. I'm trying to do too many things at once. I also need an assistant, I think. But, okay. Go to my biz. Okay, so I've got somebody messaging me that they can't find me. Go to my business page. Ellen's. It's hard to type with one hand while you're holding a painting utensil. Crafty Decor. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I gotta go back to my page. Okay, hopefully she's where she needs to be. Okay, now what did I do? Now I can't see comments. Gosh darn it. It's always something, you know? Always something. That's not it. Switch back over. Oh, there we go. So sorry. Again, for my ineptness. So, I see some of my teacher friends are online, and also some mommy friends. Is everyone? Oh my gosh, how does the volume keep coming back? Okay, okay. So, how many of you are ready to be done with e-learning? Oh, we just got a message or an email today from our administrator about something to do for the last, it's a little fun thing to do for the kiddos for the last day of school. Just not a big deal, nothing fancy, but I thought it was a really good idea. So make sure your kiddos on the last day of school, the last day of e-learning, if you go to Roosevelt, well, if you go to Twin Lakes at all, they're probably all doing something. But at Roosevelt, we are going to do a super little fun little goodbye message to our students. So if you get a chance, you should check it out at will be hopefully a nice little way to send those kiddos off that we weren't able to see. You, Stephanie, I can't believe you're ready for e-learning to be over. As a mom or as a teacher, or both? I'm pretty lucky. My kiddos are pretty independent. I have a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they usually do their work. Every once in a while I get a message from a teacher that one of them forgot to do something. Like I got a message last week that my high schooler forgot to do his attendance. Yeah, that was awesome. So hopefully he went in and took care of that and we will not be counted absent. Anyway, so I'm just slapping on a coat of this, and it's probably not coming up, the lighting in here isn't the best because you know, you should all tell Jen Koppelman that I need more and better lighting for my lives. Anyway, so but it is like a grayish blue color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to take my craft dryer and just kind of dry it a little bit. More as a teacher. Oh, Carter. Carter. It's rough. It's hard for them to just do it all on their own. Just not having that connection with the teachers. What is what? Dorley, you said, what is it? I'm not sure what it is. But, so I'm just trying to speed this up a little bit and dry it because the color that this is and the color that I'm painting is a lighter color, obviously. And I want there to be good coverage of this. Some people really like the look where you can see kind of like the grain underneath the paint. I just see a whole section I missed. Time out. Let me do this. Oh, what is the paint? The paint is just a chalk paint that I buy from Melissa Scott at Cornerstone Antiques. It's not necessary to have this particular paint. I just love it. It is just a chalk paint. You can get chalk paint. You don't have to use chalk paint for this. You can use latex paint. You probably could use even, what's the word? The other paint that you use for all your crafts. Yeah, I know craft paint, but I can't think of the name. Acrylic. That's it. Acrylic paint would probably work as well. I have not personally tried that, but I know a lot of people use pretty much any paint they have laying around. I do like to give my wood 2 coats, especially when I'm using a piece of stark like this oak, which I think it's oak. Look at me acting like I know stuff. Oh, heavens. Okay. So, just try to hit that a little bit, just dry it. If you paint over chalk paint when it's wet, like a second coat of it, it sometimes ends up pulling some of the first coat off if it's not dry. So, that's why I'm taking the time to do this. This is not necessary either. What you could do, you could just let it sit, walk away, go do something else, let it sit overnight, come back, put a second coat on. But, one, I'm impatient, and 2, that's not much of a project. So, I'm going to go ahead and put another one on. Another coat on here. As soon as I get it just a tad bit more dry, and we're gonna go with it, knowing that if you did this on your own, you could obviously wait just a little bit longer for the paint to dry. So I am not a very neat painter, so you will find out that I get it all over me. I'm doing my best to not do that, but that's always tricky for me. I'm one of those messy crafters, if that is even a thing. Oh, drip there. All right. So, like I said, we're painting this door front from a kitchen cabinet. It is solid wood, unlike the actual cabinets I have in my house, which are some funky fake stuff. I'm not sure what it is. But I've always wanted to paint them, but I'm always nervous too because I don't think they'll come out very well. My parents once painted all their kitchen cabinets. Oh, they were beautiful. They looked professionally done. They painted them themselves. Oh, on the lake. Good times. Anyway, so, but that was like a lot of work, and I'm afraid that mine won't come out as nice as my parents, so I'll just wait 5 years. That's what my husband says. Oh, in 5 years. In 5 years, we'll get a new kitchen. Maybe. Or maybe a she shed. Ooh, am I boring everyone? Everyone's so quiet. No one's making any comments. Sorry if you're bored. I'm working. All right, so there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the inside one more time. Try to just hit it really quick. Not worry about it. If you like the rustic look, you don't have to cover all of it consistently. Like, I'm anal retentive. If you know me, you know that already. And I like it to be perfect, which I know better because I would tell anyone else who is making any type of creative project at all. Oh, thank you, Dorley. Just making sure you're still there. That it doesn't need to be perfect. That's what makes it handmade, right? Is that it has imperfections, that it is not perfect. But I still think I want perfect. I want perfection without taking the time and the effort to be perfect. So I've got my own issues. All right, almost done here. Almost done. I thought about painting this ahead of time. In retrospect, might have been a good idea. It definitely would have been more exciting than to sit here and watch paint dry. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not very funny. Okay, so I think that's got a decent coverage. I just don't want any pooling here. In the corners, it always seems like it's where it's the most difficult to dry. So I'm gonna hit that again with the craft dryer. Where did I get the frame? Oh, I said that earlier, but I was lucky enough to have this good friend of mine, Kim, who I put on message on a post on Facebook. If anyone knew of any old kitchen cabinets or drawer fronts that someone was getting rid of, to hit me up. I'd love to take them for a craft project. And she was redoing her and her husband were doing their entire kitchen. They ended up basically just redoing their entire house, but she had them sitting around, so she's like, here, good, take them. So I had them for almost a year, always intending to do this project, but I'll be honest, I was slightly intimidated about filling like the holes in the door and how much I'd have to sand it and all of that. So they were just free cabinet door fronts. I have all kinds of sizes. I have drawer fronts and door fronts. So now I can get busy going. It just took me a while to take the chance here. Whew. All right. So we're drying that as best we can here, so that, just trying to get my little drips cleaned up too. Like, seriously, I'm very honest when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like, I'm a messy crafter, so it wouldn't surprise me that I have paint drips in multiple places. But, you know, it'll be rustic, right? All right, so tonight, as I dry this, I'll talk a little bit about some things. What we're gonna do tonight is we're doing a sign that I'm gonna use trying to use in my house, if it turns out. It's Live Love Lake, and it has some fish. I'll go ahead and show you a little sneak peek of what that transfer looks like. It's got 3 fish on it. It says Live Love Lake. I do live on a lake. I consider myself extremely lucky. And I absolutely love it. And it's finally warm enough to where I can actually go outside. I'm kind of a fair weather outdoors person, right? I don't like it if it's too cold. I don't like it if it's too hot. Mostly too cold. That's what I hate the most. So, dry. And then we'll have to decide what color paste we're going to use on that transfer. And I pulled out some different colors, just kind of thinking, because I hadn't painted this, used this color before. Like I said, I just picked it up this afternoon. But it's the color I've been wanting to try for a long time, so I thought, why not? Just wing it. Give it a try. So I'm going to make sure that I just like the coverage of it before I go ahead and put my paint away. If you're sitting thinking, oh, I know somebody who would like to see this project or listen to this crazy woman babble on and on, if you wouldn't mind hitting the share button on your screen to share this video with other people, I would appreciate that. So as we're continuing to dry, I'll continue to talk because it would be boring if I sat here silent. More boring if I sat here silent and you just listened to the paint dry. So I actually am an independent designer for Couture, which is a high-end home decor DIY company where you buy. You can buy they have lots of products, but what I love the most are their transfers, which are like a silk screen. So it's like a stencil, but not really, because it's not all open. There's a screen in there, which makes it super easy to use. They are reusable. They can be used, the company says they can be used 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you care for your transfer. I have never had one that I couldn't use, and I've used them at least 8 times. Some of them, at least 8 times, and they still work. So it's not a bad investment there. And the surfaces that Couture sells, a lot of them are reusable surfaces. This one, because it is my own, is not reusable. Now, I can extend the life of this and possibly use it again if I wanted to. If I like how it turns out, I won't, because I've been wanting to do this fish transfer for a while. So, I just wanted to tell you that. But the paste that we use, the Chalkology paste, works really well with these transfers. And it is temporary, especially if you have a reusable surface like a chalkboard or something like that. This, to make it reusable, I have to wax it. And I'm not going to wax the whole thing for you tonight. I'm just going to wax the part that we're going to use the transfer on, so you can kind of see how to do that. So if you're looking to repurpose some things you have around your house, or you get from a yard sale, garage sale, thrift store, what have you, and kind of want to repurpose things, I can kind of give you some little info on how to do that. I also do, when we're not in quarantine, I do make and take events where we pick different projects, and you can come. It's kind of like a party. Like you could do it in your home, or we could do it in my house. And you pick your surface, pick your transfer. I supply all the equipment, so like the dryer, the paint, the paste, the utensils that you need, and some snacks. So hopefully, yes, Erin, I can. I will put it in the comments at the end, but it is www. No, it's not. Well, I don't think you have to put that in. It is http:// chalkcouture.com /Ellen. But yes, I will post it so you can just click on the link if you'd like to check that out. All right, I think that's pretty well dry, as dry as I think we're going to get it. So again, if you're at all concerned, I'm feeling it. It feels very dry. However, you're welcome to wait a little bit longer. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wax it. And all I'm going to do, if I can open the container here, is this is a clear wax for chalk that I'm trying to use up. You don't necessarily have to use this. You can use any kind of finishing paste. Minwax, Varathane, I don't know, there's all kinds of brands you can buy. I just bought a new one at a discount place around me because this one's almost gone. And if you've never waxed a surface before, it does change the color initially, but that color will, once the wax sets up, dries, it will go back to its original color that it was painted. So I don't know if you can really tell how the color of this surface is changing. And I'm just rubbing it on. You can use a brush if you want. And they make all kinds of special brushes you can use for applying chalk. And all I'm using is a little, oh, Dorlee, as soon as we get unquarantined, you got it. Girl, we've got some projects to work on. So all I did was take a little bit, like a t-shirt, an old t-shirt that was cut up, and I'm just kind of buffing that out. What this does is not necessary for the piece itself. What it does is it will allow the transfer to easily release from the surface. It will easily release from the surface and will prolong the transfer, because the transfer has an adhesive on the back, and the benefit of that is it sticks well to the surface, but you also want to be careful that you don't pull the paint that we just applied off when you pull the transfer off after you do the next step. So I'm just gonna buff that a little bit. Now what I would do, if once this project is completed, I'd go back and I would wax the rest of this. Just not gonna do that for you now. So let me throw that in my water, close up my paint, and get that out of the way. Take a little sip of a beverage. It's Wine Wednesday, but I didn't have any wine, so let's just pretend it's wine. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this so it is, move that out of the way, so it is vertical, okay? And really, like when you wax, if you've never waxed furniture before or anything, there's a little bit of like a residue on my hands and it kind of is funky, but it's not wet. So I'm just gonna wipe my hands off really quick with a baby wipe because it's easy, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and use our transfer. So we need to decide what color. Like I said, this is kind of a light, I don't know how well you can really see, but kind of a light blue. Gray blue, but it's a pretty, like, kind of coastal nautical blue. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. So I'm trying to decide what color to do the transfer in. And I pulled out, like, I absolutely love this color's Tide. I've never ever used it for anything. And I'm like, oh, I so want to do it, but I don't think it would go very well with this. Maybe if this was a white paint instead. I think that would look better. I have Peacock. I'm not loving that either. White would look really good if this were a darker blue. Now, you may want to try that. So what I'm going to do, just made the decision right now, is I'm going to go over here to my stack of pastes and find my blue, my dark blue. That's a Liberty. That's not the right blue. Oh, everyone, I'm so sorry here. Here we go. So this one is called Midnight Sky, which I absolutely love as well. I use this for my patriotic ones as well, my patriotic signs that I've made. in the past, because sometimes I think the other blue, here I can show it to you, is a much brighter blue. This one is called Liberty. I'm not even sure, to be honest, if Liberty still is in the catalog, but I know there's a new one called Bluebird, which looks really, really pretty. I just don't happen to have that one yet. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one. This is more of a navy. I am sure that there is a comparable color in the catalog or online for that. But again, you can buy chalk paste or chalk paint from different places. This paste, that's what I'm trying to say. This paste I really love. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so we're peeled the transfer off, and again, this is a silk screen transfer. So if this were just like a regular stencil, this would be all open, right? This is all screen here. Okay, and that's the open portion of the screen. So obviously, whatever's the darker turquoisey color, that is going to be left the color that we painted the board, and then whatever color we apply will show up in the open spaces, obviously, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this ish as best I can. And I'm going to pull it down just a little bit for me, because I'm going to add some embellishments at the top, at the end, when I'm all done with the paste. So what's nice, again, they are removable. They are sticky on the back. Because we waxed, it will, again, release easier. But I also use my fuzzing cloth, which is, all I did was add some fuzz to the back of this. What this does is you can use your t-shirt, your pant leg, whatever, but it adds a little fuzz to the back so that it's not as sticky, because depending on what surface you're putting it on, it can be difficult to get it, like I said, to release. So we put just a little bit of fuzz on it, and because it's a reusable transfer, when we wash it, the majority of that fuzzing that we put on, that little fuzzies come off, and that it gets sticky again so that you can reuse it later. Another time, or make it in a different color, or make some to give a friend, you know, if you wanted to make some signs as like a home warming or housewarming, or you get invited to someone's lake house for the weekend, take them a little gift. Super simple. So this color, like I said, Midnight Sky, I believe the new color is called Cadet. For some reason, I'm thinking I don't have the catalog right in front of me. Again, all you do is, I haven't used this particular color in a very long time, and as you can see as I'm stirring it here, it's really thick. Okay, well, all you have to do to get it to a better consistency is I'm going to spray in a little distilled water and just slowly and gently kind of mix it in, and it reconstitutes the paste. So if the paste is a little dried out, doesn't mean you have to throw it away. Add a little bit of water, stir if necessary. Like there's a big glob in here, so I have to work on that a little bit. That you can add a little bit more water if you need to. It's real, but you probably shouldn't get it on your surface like I just did. Take a wave. Comes right off. Okay, I should be a little more careful. Let me move that out of the way so you can see me work with the paste here. Hopefully you can see that. All right, so clearly it's getting a little bit thinner. The consistency that we want is like a yogurt consistency or like a sour cream. That is, you don't want it too thin and runny because then it will leak under the screen and you won't get really crisp, clear lines. But you also don't want it too thick that it's going to dry on the transfer, because then it won't set to the surface that you're working on, and it'll be all not turn out the way you want it. So give that some stirs. Now I have it over my fingers, so just throw that in my water bath. As soon as this quarantine's over, I will get it for you. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. We'll do that. It'll be fun. It will be fun, Dorley. I enjoy crafting with you. All right, so we have our paste. Our paste is ready. Move this out of my way. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'll turn it around so it's up and down, the right direction at least. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my small squeegee. I'm going to dip into the paste. Well, you know, before I do that, I better explain something though. Okay, so we wax this surface so it is not sticking as much as I would actually, look at that, as I would even like it to. So if this weren't something I was trying to do for a live, I would probably let this sit a little bit so that some of that wax actually evaporates a little bit. Maybe I could wipe some of it off. Let me try that. Just get another little rag here. See if I can have it. I might have too much sitting on the surface. Well, you know, you never know with me, so we'll just give it a try. But there's a lot of open space here, so in retrospect, I maybe didn't want to fuzz my transfer like I did, and I didn't put that on straight, but what's nice again, you can pull it off and reposition it. What's the rate to come and rent your craft space and goodies? Well, as soon as we get allowed to get out, I'd be happy to have you over. You can bring Morgan with you, Kim. It'd be great. I just charge a class fee, actually, and then you leave with completed design. I'll have to get one planned. Maybe that welcome sign. That would be fun. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is push this down and make sure that it has as good contact as I can get, and that there are no air bubbles, and that it's centered and relative. It's not straight. I have to do that all again. I'll tell you. I feel like, let me pull this down. Oh my goodness. Oh, hi Diana. Glad you could join us. Making a sign that would be great at a lake house. All right, we are just gonna go with it because, hey, Lexi, oh my God, Lexi, come here. Oh my gosh, come here. What did you see? She saw something in the window. Oh my gosh, that's not quite right. Lexi, oh my gosh. So we inherited this Shih Tzu, and she's actually a really good dog. But man, we're just not used. Oh my gosh, what is my problem here? We are just not used to that kind of dog. And it's a whole new learning experience. I do have to say, she's a pretty good dog most of the time. All right, so let's get this down. We're gonna leave it wherever it is this time. I'm feeling like I'm not super confident that it's not gonna run. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, so all you do is you apply the paste, and because it's not adhering as much as I would like, I'm gonna hold on to the end of it, and hopefully it won't slide on me. And we're just gonna spread the chalk across the surface. Oh no, I heard it ripple. You know, you get the real deal here. I've told you guys that before. You get my mistakes and all. Okay, let's do this one. Again, it will be easier for me to go in multiple directions here, but like I said, I'm concerned that the transfer might move because of that wax that I put on the board. And you know what's great about these projects? If it doesn't work out, all I need to do is repaint the board. No big deal. It's not like you have to throw it away if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you want or you had envisioned. Oh, I need just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to clean off my squeegee. That goes back in the container. I'm going to throw that in my water over here, and I'm going to peel up, and we're going to see how well I did. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Ta-da! And our transfer just goes in the water bath over here. So I've just got a little container of water, and that keeps the, what am I trying to say? The paste from sticking to the drying to the transfer. Now, so obviously I made a little boo-boo over here. I went off the edge of the transfer, and that looks like crap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry, and I'll show you how we fix that after it dries a little bit. So before I screw anything else up, super, super, super easy to fix, believe it or not. Oh, thanks, Erin. I am glad I went with the that dark blue color now. I am very glad. So we're just gonna dry this. Oh, thanks, Diana. All right, so I'm not a big fisher person, right? Like my children fish, my husband fishes occasionally. I don't mind watching them. I'll go buy the bait. I'm not a big fisher person. I don't eat fish. However, they are cute on a sign. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Kim. You know what, Kim? I didn't know you lived on the lake. We were out for a boat ride yesterday, and John said, that's where she lives. And I was like, she does not live on the lake. I said, I had no idea. I'm like under a rock or something. All right, so that looks pretty good. I tend to overdry, like I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just gonna dry it a little bit more. So now I'm thinking of different ideas that I could do with this that I'm not going to do tonight, but that you could do if you wanted to make your own sign, like something similar to this. Just feeling it to make sure it's dry to the touch so that I don't smear anything. Okay, so what I was thinking would be even cute to do with this, just gonna wet my Q-tip just a little bit, and I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and kind of, well, that looks terrible. We'll use the dry side. Oh, see, and I'm taking the paint off. That's what I was afraid of. The paint that I just painted on, because it hasn't, what's the word when your paint cures? That's the word. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna open my paint. I'm gonna show it to you right now. I'm gonna fix it right now because it's gonna bother me. So I'm gonna just have my paint right here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little paintbrush, get a little bit on my paintbrush, and just go and cover that right up. Easy peasy. Don't even know I screwed it up. I like to read a book while they fish. Oh yeah, I like to sit in the sun, have a beverage or something, you know, like an iced tea. But that's awesome. I just never, I don't know where I've been, but I just didn't realize that. Anyway, Not that we're stalking you, because that sounds weird. Sorry. Okay, so that's our sign. But it's missing some things. Now, what I'm thinking now when I look at this is this would be a cute little note board, and you could take some little squeezy clothespins, like those mini clothespins they sell in the craft section, and hot glue them there, and you can hang little notes on there. I thought it would be cute. Or pictures of your kids fishing, maybe. I don't know. Or you fishing if you happen to like to fish. Who is it? Who am I to say you can't fish? Anyone can fish. I just don't like to touch them. The fishing I like. It's the taking them off the hook I don't like. So, all right. So what we're going to do, though, is add just a little something to it. So if you've noticed, this is slightly off center, right? So I put the fish down just a little bit further on the board. And that is because I need to do a little embellishing. So I have a few different things. I have some different ribbon that I was going to use, but I think that's overkill, and it looks a little too nautical. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have this really cool dark blue with white anchors, which I think is just adorable, but I don't think it's gonna look right here. I also have this nautical blue and white stripe thicker ribbon, which that would be okay, but I'm just feeling this, it's not jute because it's thicker than jute, you know, this rope stuff. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm gonna have to, oh, I did not plug in my craft, what's this thing called? Yeah, thing with the thing. Yeah, that's great, Ellen. Wow, I need more glue. Craft gun, no, hot glue gun. That's what it is, a hot glue gun. So let me grab some glue, because I know what I have in there right now may not be enough. Okay, so, oh, excuse me. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do with this is I am going to, you're gonna see the bad, I did not paint the back of this. This board is as it was, so, you know, I don't care about the back, because it's going to be on a wall. No one's going to see it. Oh, something else you could do here too on the front before I forget is you could easily distress this with just some sandpaper, which would be cute as well if you like that more rustic look, the worn look. What I think would be really cute is if you did 2 layers of paint. You did white first, and then a bluish color like this, and then you sanded off some of the blue and let some of the white show through. That would kind of be cute and nautical-y too. So, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and I've got a whole spool of it. And all I'm gonna do is we're going to, well, I'm trying to show you. All right, I've got stuff everywhere. Hang on one second. Let me close that up, move that. Get rid of this, it's dirty. Get rid of that, throw that away. All right, okay. So, I think 3-ish times around will be good for me. If you like more, where did my scissors go? Scissors. Oh my gosh. Ah, here they are. Jeez, oh Pete. All right, so I'm gonna cut that. Move that out of the way. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of play around with, no, you can't see it. See, this is why I need like another camera. Don't you all think I need 2 cameras? One up higher so you can see my surface, and then one on me? I think so. That's what I would like someday if I ever get, I wonder if that will glue it up. Of course not. That would have been smart if I would have cut that a little bit shorter. You don't necessarily have to glue it. If you want to not make something permanent, you can just easily tie it, which is probably what I'll do here. And then if I like how it looks, I will glue it on, make it more permanent. So I'm gonna do, I need like some training in bow making or knot tying or something. You would think all the scouts in my house, I'd know how to tie a knot. All right, so let me turn this up so you can see. Oh my gosh, see, I need another camera. And I need an Archon stand if anyone wants to tell John. So all I did, and then you can adjust that, just added a little something extra to it. You could easily add some ribbon to this if you like that. I like this more just subtle look personally. It makes me think nautical, but not over the top, bash in your face, like too cutesy. So that's what I like about that. So all I'm gonna do personally, because I don't want to hot glue it now that I said that and I plugged that in and I got my glue out, because I never know, yikes, I never know what I'm going to do. Like reuse my surfaces for another project, if I'll keep it. I like it versatile. See if I could, oh my, so sorry. All right. So that, maybe there was a problem, I'm not sure. So something about, oh, thanks. Thanks. You know, it never looks like this ever again after my stylist does my hair, you know. So like if you saw me tomorrow when I do it, it won't look anything like this, but thank you. It was much needed, and I got rid of all the gray. That was the most important part. So that's our little project tonight, just made from a recycled cabinet door. And we sanded it lightly. We filled the holes that I did before we came on. And all I will do now is I would just add a hanger to the back, one of those sawtooth hangers, and it will be able to be hung up on a wall. I like it. It turned out better than my other one. My other one that I showed at the beginning of my live. It's okay, but this one I like a lot better. So I have some more boards, so if anyone wants one, let me know. All right. So a couple other things I just want to mention really quick before I jump off is some more stuff about the Chalk Couture. Very simply, there's something called Club Couture, and if you sign up for Club Couture, you become a preferred customer. And not only do you become a preferred customer, but you get, for $19.99 a month, you get a transfer and 3 coordinating paste colors that get sent directly to your house. No, you don't have to pay for shipping. It comes automatically. And you also then, oh, Dorley, I got another plan for you, but I'll tell you about that later. Okay. So the Club Couture, like I said, it comes, a subscription program, it comes directly to you. It does not come with a surface. You supply your surface, but if you do invest in a surface, you could reuse it easily over and over. But you also become a preferred customer, which gives you discounts and specials and things like that. So like there's retired transfer that or transfers that are about to be retired that are called last chance, and so you get this month I believe it's a 50% off discount to the last chance transfers, which is something I can't even get. I don't get that 50% off, so that's kind of neat, and it does change from month to month. So that's kind of a neat little thing too. But if you're interested in that, type club in the comments and I can just send you some information about it. I won't hound you, promise. But that's kind of a neat thing. And if you're interested, like I said, I'll put my link in here after I get off my live, and you can kind of see what transfers there are. I know my camera's not straight and it's seriously bugging me. I have issues. Oh my gosh. So that's what we did tonight with the Couture transfer, but then we used our own surface, so you can do that as well. It's very versatile. So thanks for watching, and my plan is to be back. Oh, my lights, what is happening? You know, what are you gonna do? Amateur. So anyway, hopefully I'll be back on Friday. Friday's my plan to come back with, I might do the welcome sign as a little, as a live. We'll see. Okay, you guys have a great night. Take care. Bye.